Hey, it's Andy again, and in this episode, it's all about turning your blog into something that's pleasing to the eye. Hopefully you didn't get too lost with the technical aspects from the last episode, especially if you're new and have never built a website before, it can be quite daunting. But let me tell you, once you get your hands on it, it will become a lot easier to work with. Trust me, just follow the steps and you'll be fine. So now that we've got our domain and our hosting server and installed WordPress, let's start pimping up our blog. I personally feel that what your blog looks like will play a big factor in building a relationship with your visitors. I feel that first impression is something that you should really consider and that it goes a really long way. Not only does it help with building trust because it looks professional, it also helps with user engagement and ease of navigation. It's like rocking up to a meeting in your PJs. No one wants to hear about what you have to say, no matter how important it may be. Another thing to consider when it comes to building profitable blogs are the features. Some features may include security, others include easy navigation for search engines. All of this could easily be done with WordPress by using plugins. So let me head over to my computer and let's turn our blog into something worth checking out.
So once you actually install WordPress, it's going to come with a default theme and a few default posts and pages. So a good way to actually check out what your website looks like right now is to actually hover your mouse over at the home button right here. And you'll see visit site. So I like to actually open up in a new tab and always see what kind of changes I've made. So all you have to do is just right click that and open it in a new tab. And you see that this is what our actual website looks like. As you can see, it's really bland, really plain, nothing too fancy. We've got a default post called Hello World, and there's also a sample page over here as well. So if I just head back to WordPress, you can see that if I actually click my mouse over to posts, you'll see that default Hello World post. So that was that one there. And then at pages, if I just click on pages, you'll see that sample page is there. So the difference between posts and pages are, posts is designed for your blog content. So it's something that you're going to be adding on every single day for bloggers. Whereas page is more for like your important information. So like your contact us or about me or your homepage, all of that are considered pages. They pretty much work the exact same way. It's just the layout within your website is going to look different. And it all really depends on the theme that you actually get. So the very first thing that I actually suggest you to do is to look for a theme that you like. So to find an actual theme that you want to work with, just head over to Appearance. If you hover your mouse over Appearance, you'll see Themes, and let's just click on Themes. As I mentioned at the start of the video, you've got two options for themes. You can actually find a free theme within WordPress itself, or you can actually purchase a premium theme, which I'll show you a website that you can actually check out and see for yourself. But as you can see this page, at the moment, this is the theme that's activated, and this is the theme that's called 2014. And that's a default theme that WordPress installs for you. But as you saw earlier, it's not the greatest looking theme, so let's actually look for a free theme that we can work with. So first thing first, let's head over to wordpress.org themes, and these are the free themes. Now there's going to be a whole bunch of lists of different themes that you can actually work with. Each theme is really going to vary. Some themes might have extra features than others, but in most cases, themes are just your appearance of your website. So let's say you're halfway through building your website and you actually decide to change themes. By changing a theme, it won't affect any of your content, so you're not going to lose all your posts or any of your pages. Everything's going to stay the same. It's just the actual overlay, the actual appearance of your website is going to look different. So just keep that in mind. But for now, you've got a few tabs to actually check out. You've got Featured, Popular, or Latest. So just under Feature, you have a few choices to actually go with. So you've got this Woodbury, Explanade, I think that's how you pronounce it, and a few others. So you just really have to scroll along and see which one really suits your needs. And it really depends on what type of website you want to build. So if you want to build like a website for a business, you want to make sure it looks professional. So I'm just going to quickly scroll down and see what I can actually find. So this one doesn't look too bad. And if you actually want to check it out, you just click on Details and Preview. And it'll give you a live preview of what the actual website looks like. So if we were to actually install this theme over here, this is the aesthetic of what our website is going to look like. So you've got all your pages up here. So as I mentioned before, you can add different pages. There's a featured image that you can actually add onto your home page. You got individual posts or pages depending on the theme and what you actually want to use. I'm sure you can customize it. And then you've also got an added blog as well, so that's another feature that they can do. There's a widget area with your opt-in box, and yeah, and pretty much this is what the bulk of it actually looks like. So this one actually looks pretty nice, pretty clean. If I actually wanted to install it, all I had to do was just click on Store, and WordPress is going to do everything for you. But if you actually want to check out more, just click on the cross, and let's head over to the top and see what other themes that they actually have got. So this time I'm just going to click on Popular and see what's really working out there right now. So as you can see, these three themes are already installed, and all these themes are by default. Every year WordPress comes up with a new theme. So as you can see, 2012 was 2012, 2014, 2013, and they haven't actually come up with a 2015 yet, but I'm sure that's coming soon. But those are automatically installed for you. So let's actually move on and see what other themes we can actually use that looks nice. So Storefront was the one that I actually show you as an example early on, and that's really handy for e-commerce type websites. If you want a really nice photography or visual kind of website, this one actually looks pretty nice as well. This one looks more suited for a blog, and as you can see, there's a whole list of it. So you really have to check it out for yourself and see what suits your website best. There's really no one theme that fits everything. You just really have to play around with it and see for yourself. I'm just going to quickly install a random theme just to show you as an example and how we can actually add on content and make our website look a lot better. So let's stick with the one earlier. I actually really liked that one earlier, so I believe it was this one here. So colorway, yeah, it looks about right. So all we have to do is just click install. Now it's going to actually download the actual theme, install it onto your WordPress, onto your hosting server, and then all you have to do is activate it. Okay, so as you can see, it's successfully installed. Let's activate the theme and let's check it out and see what it looks like. So it's going to take you back to this page, and you see that this is the theme that was activated, and now the 2014 is not activated, so it's not actually highlighted. So if I actually head over to my actual website earlier here and give that a quick refresh, you'll see that the same pages are still here, so that sample page is still here, so nothing has changed. It's just the actual layout of our website. So again, you've got all of this to actually show for, and this is the actual blog post. So this is the post that it was the example post, so you can see that's still there. And yeah, so it looks like a pretty nice theme, and it's something that we can actually work with. So the themes that you actually find within WordPress are free. If you actually wanted to see premium themes, themes that are more interactive, more responsive, and have a lot more features, then a website that I highly recommend you check out is ThemeForest.net, and it is by Envato. They have a ton of different theme templates that you can actually purchase and download. Not only do they have it for WordPress, they even have like HTML templates. They've got other e-commerce type templates as well for different types of platforms that if you might be using. But for now, let's just focus on the WordPress one, and let's click on popular items. So this is last week's top selling WordPress themes. As you can see, it can range anywhere between like $38 to $58, $63, as you can see. If you actually wanted to see what this one actually looks like, if you just click into it, they generally have like a live preview. So I'm just going to open that in a new window and I'll check out what it looks like. The only advice is if you're going to purchase a theme, you want to make sure that they constantly update the theme as well. So on the right hand side here, you'll see when it got created and when the last update was. So as you can see, 26th of January, they just recently updated that. So that's a good sign that they're constantly working on this theme. Otherwise, if you get a theme that is really old and it hasn't been updated, you'll find that there's going to be a lot of bugs and a lot of headaches to play around with it. Okay, so my only advice is to avoid themes that haven't been updated for a while. So I'll just head over to the actual website, and this is what it looks like. So it looks pretty neat. It looks pretty nice. As you can see, it's quite interactive. So you can see that it just appears, the numbers. So yeah, with premium themes, you do get a lot of better features that you wouldn't with a free theme. Of course, there are really great free themes out there that you can really play around with, but sometimes you don't actually get the support that you need. Whereas if you do purchase the theme, there's always a developer to help you out along the way. So again, that's one of the great benefits of actually purchasing it. So I'll just keep scrolling down just to give you a brief idea of what it actually looks like. And yeah, so it's quite interactive. So before you actually purchase the theme, you want to make sure that it's mobile responsive, so that if you're going to resize it to a mobile screen, that it actually looks good. Because if you're going to pay for it, you definitely want that feature. You want to make sure that it's coded properly to be optimized for speed. And of course, you want to make sure it looks nice, but that goes without saying. So again, you just want to go through and you can actually see the different features, and I'm sure they'll explain it a lot more in depth. You can see that it's got powerful options with changing your colors. Responsive, this is what I was talking about. So responsive means that if you're going to resize it to a mobile screen here, it fits perfectly. And users don't have to actually zoom in and zoom out to actually use your website. These are just added plugins that they give away for free. And like I said, you get support and development as well. So yeah, so those are a few benefits of actually getting a premium theme. So ThemeForest.net is one of many websites that I actually use to purchase my themes. Another one that's really great is called elegantthemes.com. Now, if you actually view their themes, you can see what the themes actually look like. They've actually categorized their themes. So let's say we're after a blog, which we are. Let's just click on blog and see what kind of themes they actually offer. So all you have to do is just go through them and see which one that actually sticks out for you. And then if you actually want to have a preview, just hover your mouse over it and click on that search bar. And then click on Live Theme Demo, and you'll be able to see exactly what that website looks like with this theme. So yeah, so pretty fancy theme, I must say. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad. The last website I want to share is Thrive Themes, okay? So very similar to Elegant Themes. They have pretty nice themes going on in there. And all you have to do is just, click on Discover the Themes, and you'll be able to see all the themes that they actually offer. So here's their collection here. So again, before you actually go ahead and buy themes, you want to make sure that you do look into it very thoroughly. Make sure that they are updating the themes. Make sure that it is mobile responsive. And make sure that, it is built for speed. But just for this tutorial, I'm just going to work with the one that I just installed, so this one here. So let's see what this theme has to offer, and let's head over back to our WordPress dashboard. So generally, with the themes that you actually install, it'll come with its own options. So if you head over to Appearance, you should see Theme Options, and this is going to be different for depending on which theme you actually install. As you can see, this is for the theme that we just installed, which is Colorway, and these are the options that you can actually choose from. So I'll see what I can actually work with. So first off, it says to actually upload your custom logo, and I'm assuming it's going to be this little image over here. So just get a logo done. If you don't know where to get one, I suggest to actually head over to fiverr.com, and all you have to do is just type in logo, and I'm sure you can find a service out there that can actually create a cool looking professional logo that will suit your needs, okay? And there are plenty of gigs out there. I do recommend to go with one that has a lot of reviews. So as you can see, there's a lot of 5-star reviews, and see check out their portfolios and see which one you actually like. So once you get that done, you just upload that image there. Make sure that you use this specifications so that it can actually fit perfectly there. Next is your custom favicon. Favicon is just a little icon that goes on top of your little search bar. So if I drag this one down here, you can see this section here is the actual favicon, and yeah, that's what it's going to look like once you've actually uploaded that. So you can make a smaller version of your logo and upload it as a favicon. And then if you've got Google Analytics, you want to install Google Analytics, you just have to plug in the code here. They make it really easy for you. Just plug in the code here, and then make sure that you do press Save All Changes, okay? And generally, each of these themes are going to have something similar to this. Some might be more advanced than others, but it'll be a general layout, okay? Then you've got your home top feature, your home top feature image, so 900 pixels with 350. I'm assuming it's this massive homepage image here. You've got your heading, and then you've got your link and description. So I'm guessing this box here, so that's your heading, and it's a clickable link, and that's your description. And then, once you filled all that out, you can save changes. Homepage settings, you got your intro, I'm guessing it's here. Your text, so whatever text you want to write there for your headline. Your first featured image, headline, link, and content. So each of these are considered a featured box. So you've got your image, your headline, and your description, and this generally you want to link it to a specific page. So if your website has maybe services or products, you can have one featured box about your services, one featured box about your products, and one featured box about you, about us, your company, and a contact form. Okay, and there's 4 of these boxes that you can actually play around with. So I'll just head back up. Styling options, so that's custom CSS. So I'd probably avoid that unless you actually know some coding like HTML coding and CSS, then you can play around with that. And then your footer settings looks like it's just your social media accounts, okay? So that's that. So it looks like a pretty easy theme to actually play around with. Again, this is just your layout, your aesthetics, and not really your content. So I'm going to quickly show you how to actually create pages that you might need for your website, okay? So over here you'll see pages, and then you'll see add new. If you just click onto add new, and here's where you want to actually fill out your details for that particular page. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly dismiss that. So let's say our page was about us, right? This is going to be the title of your page. What you write here will be displayed as your very top menu here. So just keep that in mind. Your text is, whatever kind of content you want to fill in. So I'm just going to put a little bit of text so you get an idea. And then next thing you actually want to do is just publish. And now you can see that they created a link for us called andysdemosite.com/about us. Okay, so if someone was to actually type that into the URL, this particular page will appear. So you see that page just got published. I can just right click that, open new link, and you can see what the page looks like. So again, this is what the theme looks like. for a particular page. Okay, so this is the actual home page, and this is for a page within your website. So you can see the menu bar is added to the top here with About Us. They've got breadcrumbs here. This is the actual About Us section. So where I actually put the description here, this is where you want to actually write what your website's about. So fill in the information that's required, and you can actually fancy it up. On the right side here is what they call a sidebar, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of different areas that you might not actually use for depending on what kind of website you actually deal with. And I'll show you how to change all that in a second. So that's one of our pages. If you actually want to see all the pages that you've created, you can just click on all pages and you'll see a list of it. Okay, so you've got About Us and a sample page. Maybe now I want to create a services. So you quickly do that and publish it. So now I've got 2 pages created and 1 sample page. So as you can see there. If I head over to this home page and just give it a quick refresh, some themes actually automatically add this in for you. Otherwise, if you actually want to manually add it and actually set, which order you want to do it, you just head back to your dashboard, go to Appearance, and what these are called are menus. Okay, so those bars at the top there are called menus. So I just click into Menus. You'll see this box over here. Okay, and now we actually want to structure our menu. So here you can actually get rid of any pages that you don't want to be shown. So let's say we want to get rid of sample page. We just click on the drop down arrow and click on remove. And now that's gone. Let's say we wanted to put services. We wanted to put services in front of About Us, right? You want to move that over here. Really simple. You just gotta click on it, drag it to the top, and drop it. And that's what it's gonna look like. Otherwise, if you want to set it as a hierarchy, maybe you've got many different services that they have each of their own page. You can easily just add it in. So if you wanted to add in a new page, you just, on the left side here, you'll see all the pages that you've created. You just got to tick it, add it to the menu, and it goes back onto this structure here. And then let's say this sample page was one of our services, one of many services. Just drag that, and you can see how it's indent to the service. So it's not a straight line anymore, it's indented. That means it's under this hierarchy, right? So if I was to actually create this menu, so now that menu is saved, so I just save that menu, and if I just quickly head back to the home page and just give it a quick refresh, and it stays the same. Okay, so obviously each theme is going to be different, so I think this is automatically set. Otherwise, if you actually head back to, let's say, customize, and now that we've actually created that menu and saved it, so I believe it's called menu 1, if we actually head over to navigation, yeah, you can actually set your main menu here. Generally with other themes, you can just do it straight from that appearance and menu. Some themes you actually have to customize it manually. So here you just select the menu that we just created. So we created menu 1 just earlier. Click that and it'll fix that right up. And see how the services is a hierarchy now, and that it actually takes you to sample pages. So let's say we had 3 different services. You can actually point it under services, and each of these would be under services. And you can do that the same with all of these pages. Okay, so yeah, once we're happy with that one, just save and publish. Once that's been saved, if I give that a quick refresh, it should fix it up. So yeah, so that's that there. Okay, so that's how you actually create pages. I'm just going to close that. Another important page that every website should have is a Contact Us page. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly create that contact page, and I'll show you how we actually get a contact form up and running. I'm just going to publish that. Now, as you can see, this theme here recommends the following plugin. Okay, so plugins are like your added-on features. Okay, and with this theme, as soon as you install this theme, it recommends using this contact form. You can easily install this plugin and play around with it. I personally haven't actually used this contact form before. The one that I generally use is called Contact Form 7. So if you actually click onto plugins, you'll see a whole bunch of plugins that by default WordPress would have installed. A lot of these are completely useless, and straight off the bat, I'll just delete it. So with Holy Dolly, that's completely useless. Jetpack and Mojo Marketplace, I'll just tick each of these, go into bulk actions, and just delete. Just click yes to these files. Right, sorry, I have to actually deactivate it first. So let's do that first. Deactivate and apply. And let's delete it. So what's left is Ascommit and Supercache. This is really good if you're building up a blog that allows comments, and what this plugin does is it actually filters out what comments are spam and which ones are legit. And so to activate this, you actually have to get an API key, which is free, and it's quite simple to do. So I do recommend it if you are planning to build up a blog to have this plugin installed. That way you won't actually get a whole bunch of spam comments coming your way. The other plugin that WordPress installs by default is Super Cache. And what caching does is, for any return visitors, so if someone's visited your website before and they decide to head back, what caching allows is, because they've been on your website before, they would have downloaded a lot of the data from your website, like the images and the text. And so what caches does is, it pulls up that data, so they don't have to re-download it, so it loads a lot faster. So it's really handy when you want your website to load really fast. The only downfall is, because it's cached, any kind of updates, the person might not actually see it. So generally when you're making any changes, I would suggest to actually deactivate it first, update and do any changes that you need, and then reactivate it. But let's actually add in the plugin that we're after, which is Contact Form. Okay, so up here you'll see Add New, so just click on Add New. Now there are millions of plugins that you can install, and a lot of them that I haven't used before. It all depends on your website's goals, so really do your due diligence. And again, like with the themes, when you're installing plugins, you want to make sure that it's one that's constantly updated. Otherwise, you'll find that it's going to be a lot of bugs and it won't work. But in this case, what we're actually looking for is a contact form. So in this little search bar here, I'll just type in contact form, and you can see a whole bunch of them that you can actually install. So a lot of these I haven't actually used before. The one that I generally use is called Contact Form 7, and not this one here. This is integration. I could have just easily typed in Contact Form 7, but I just want to give you an idea of how many actual plugins are out there. Right, and as you can see, there are heaps. But I'm just going to go back up here and just type in 7. And this is the one I'm after. Okay, so Contact Form plugin, very simple and flexible. That's exactly what we're after. You can see it's last updated 4 weeks ago, so we know that it's constantly being updated and there's no flaws. Okay, so again, just click on Install Now, press OK. WordPress is going to go out there, download the theme, install the plugin to your website, and all that's left is just to activate the plugin. And now you'll notice on the left side here, you'll see a little box appear called Contact. And here's where you want to add in your contact form. So I just clicked into Contact Forms, and you see that there's already one created. They'll offer you a shortcode to actually use, but you can also edit this as well. But to put it to good use, all you have to do is just copy that little short form, head back to your pages, go to the actual page for Contact Us, and click on Edit. All that's left is to actually add it into this little text box here and just paste it. But before I actually update it, I want to show you what it looks like for the time being. So if I head back to my actual URL, I give that a quick refresh. It probably didn't add it on yet. If I actually type up here, Contact Us, it'll take me to that contact page, and this is the actual Contact Us page. As you can see, it's completely empty. That's because we haven't added anything in yet. If I head back over to my page, I've added the actual shortcode for the contact form, press update. As soon as that's done, I'll give a quick refresh for the other page, so that's updated. I'll head back here, give that a quick refresh, and you see that there's a form that's added here. Of course, this is completely customizable. You can change it up and make it look a lot better. And all you have to do is just head over to your contacts, contact forms, and you can actually edit the actual contact form to how you want it to look like. Over here, it might look a little bit complicated, but you can change what you actually want to appear, so your name, so you can see that this is your name. If you wanted to change it to something else, you can just change that. You want your email, the subject, and your message, and the submit button, so that's all there for you. If you actually scroll down, you can see that which email they'll actually send it to. So if anyone was to actually fill in that contact form and press submit, you can see that it's going to send it to this email from the name that they actually wrote, the subject line, and then yeah, with the actual headers here again. So this is what the actual message will look like, depending on what message they actually type in. So pretty easy to use. Further down here is what happens after they actually sent the message. So if they've sent the message and it's successfully sent, they'll get your message has sent successfully. Thanks. Right, and you can change that message around. If it failed to get sent, then you can actually change that message as well, and a few others here. But once you're happy with that form, all you have to do is just press save, and that contact form one is being saved, and then that's the actual shortcode that I used earlier here. But since we didn't actually change anything, everything's just going to stay the same. Besides using the plugins Contact Form 7 and AsCommit, These are other few important plugins that every blog should have. Now, it's going to vary between, the type of blog you want to build, and obviously there are a whole bunch of plugins that do similar things or have the same concept, but these are the ones that I recommend. But of course, do your own research and check out other plugins that you might, find that might suit your blogs better. But let's just run through it. So the very first plugin that I recommend is a way to actually drive more social media traffic. And this is going to vary between themes as well. Some themes do have this available, and all it is just having all these social media buttons around your website. So, you've got your like, your share, your tweet, all of that good stuff. You want to make sure that you have that exposed on every post that you do. So a very good plugin that does this is called Shareaholic. They're pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use. All you have to do is just, again, go back to your plugins, add new, in the search bar, type up Searchaholic, and you should find it there. And with Shareaholic, you'll be able to put up social media buttons, at the very top of your post, at the bottom of your post. They've also got one where it's called the floater, and it just floats around your website, and a few other features as well. So I recommend just checking that one out. The next plugin on the list is called a related posts plugin. And what a related post is, you want to make sure that at the end of every post, you want to link it to another post that's very similar. This way, it's going to increase your page views, get people to actually, stay on your blog, check out all your other content, and really get those views happening. Again, some themes, especially the premium themes, they do offer this as well. If your theme doesn't have it, then you can always download the plugin called Yet Another Related Post, and they'll do exactly that for you. Now, when it comes to backup's really important for your blog, especially when you build up your blog for over a year's time. You want to make sure that you keep all that data in a safe place. You never know if your website ever gets hacked, or for whatever reason your server might be down and all your data might be lost. You want to make sure you have everything backed up. And so a plugin that I recommend that backs up all your data is called Updraft Plus. Really handy tool. You can either save all your data on a cloud server, cloud storage, or you can just download it onto your computer and just save it that way. Next one is sitemaps. So sitemaps are really crucial when it comes to Google or any other search engine actually indexing your posts. So what this means is every time you update new content on your website, you want to make sure that a search engine finds that content. If they don't find that content, then you're not going to be ranking for that particular post. And so what sitemaps are, it's like an organized area with all your links. Okay, so every time that they do send a bot to crawl your website, they'll be able to find all your links because everything's nicely categorized, and it's just really easy to navigate. And so a plugin that does that is called SEO Yoast. It does many other things as well, but that's the only thing that I actually mainly use it for. Now, Link Cloaker. Okay, so many times, especially if you're building a blog and you do have affiliate links floating around, it's always nice to actually get that cloaked instead of having your affiliate link, your raw affiliate link showing. Otherwise, it kind of looks a bit iffy, and you want to make sure that you build up that trust. Okay, so if they actually see a link is actually coming from the root domain / and then for whatever it is, that's a more trustable link to click on, opposed to random numbers where generally with affiliate links they give you a whole bunch of codes and random numbers, and it just doesn't look that great. So Pretty Links actually does that, tidies it up for you. It actually uses a redirect, and yeah, pretty easy to use. And the last plugin that I highly recommend is an image optimizer. If you're using a lot of images on your blog and they're really heavy in data, they're really big files or they're really high quality images, you want to make sure that you shrink that size. And I know in WordPress you do have that option to choose different sizes for your images as soon as you post it up. That actually doesn't decrease the size. Okay, so before you actually even upload your image to your computer, to your WordPress, you want to make sure that you use the minimized size possible. And so a plugin called Smush.it, so it's Smush.it, what it does is it actually compresses your image by the time it actually uploads it onto your WordPress. So that's just a handy tool to, make sure that your images load faster, it doesn't slow down your whole page speed. And as you're aware, page speed is a big factor when it comes to ranking as well, so you want to make sure that everything is fast and ready to go. But like I said, all of these plugins are just my recommendation. I have used them all, and I do recommend them. And if you wanted to check it out for yourself, again, just type these into the search bar and you'll be able to find it, no problems. But just make sure you check out and see which one's best for you. Just make sure you check out your themes and see what kind of options they have with that as well, because sometimes some plugins aren't compatible with the theme that you actually have, and other times your theme actually has that option already. Now let's actually change what our sidebar actually looks like. So on the right hand side here, you can see recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta. All of this can be completely customizable, and you can actually choose what you want to appear. And by doing that, what you're doing is changing the widgets. Okay, so if we head back over to our WordPress dashboard, over at appearance, you'll see a little section called widgets. So let's just click onto that. Now this little section here is what is appearing. So you've got your primary widget area, which is this section here. Okay, so at the right at the top here, you can see a search bar. So if I actually head over to this page, you can see that search bar is there. Next, you've got recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta, and everything was actually shown within that page right there. So let's say if you wanted to get rid of a few things, it's really easy. All you have to do is click on it, drag, and drop it on the left side here. These are the actual features that you can actually add onto your sidebar. If you don't want something, you just drag it to your left. If you want something added from here, you just drag it to the right. So let's just get rid of our whole sidebar first, like so. And then give that a quick refresh and you can see what it looks like now. See how once we've got rid of all of our sidebar, everything's gone except for the search, right? That's the only thing that I left there, and you can see it right there. There are different areas of the widget as well. So this is the actual primary area. You can actually add it for your footer as well, and your second footer and your secondary widgets. And this all depends on the theme that you're actually using as well. So you really have to just play around with it and see which goes where. But let's add in our pages that we just created into our widget, into our sidebar. So over here you'll see pages. So if I just click onto that, drag it, and I just drop it under search, because I want it to be under search, you can actually give it a title. So I can write popular pages. You can sort it by page title. You can choose which pages to exclude. And once you're happy with that, let's just click on save. Once that's saved, just head back to the page, give it a quick refresh, and you should see, there you go. So popular pages, so we just added that title in there, and you can see there's home, about us. It will show all the different pages. So that's one way of actually adding your sidebar. You scroll down and see all these different other types of widgets as well. Like I said earlier, how premium themes actually have more features. With premium themes, you'll have a lot more widgets you can actually play around with. These ones are the default WordPress ones, so nothing too special. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're given for a free theme. I'm not too sure if you can actually add in more different widgets in the customized section, so I'm just going to quickly check it out and see what they've got to offer. But yeah, no, it doesn't look like there is any. Oh, there is widgets here, so maybe you can actually add more widgets. Nah, it looks like these are the default WordPress ones. So yeah, so with free themes, you're really limited to the features that you can actually add. For this example, these are all default WordPress ones. So this theme didn't actually add any kind of widgets for you to actually play around with. And that's just one of the many downfalls of having a free theme. So just heading back, just close that. So as you can see, our website's pretty much live and kicking. There's a lot more customization that you can actually work with. And really all you have to do is just spend a whole day to get your website the best looking website that you can. But WordPress is as easy as it is. Most of it is just drag and drop, finding the right plugins to actually download and install. Adding pages is very simple. When it actually comes to customizing the actual appearance itself, like I said, it really depends on themes. I do suggest to actually check out the free themes first, play around with all the different kind of themes and see what kind of options that you actually have. And then once you're ready and you really want to check out the premium themes, that's when you can just purchase it and see the difference.
Before I finish off this episode, I did mention about driving social traffic to our blog. But to do that, we'll need to have a social presence. So before heading over to the next episode, I recommend having a look at some high-profile blogs within your niche and check out their social media profiles. Note down which platforms have a lot of engagement. Also check out any social media platform you feel like that your target audience really likes to hang out, such as Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram, and so on. Keep in mind that each niche will differ and different platforms are much better than others. Many of these social media platforms have a search feature, so use it to your advantage. Once you have a good grasp, I suggest creating an account for each platform. Be sure that it's branded to your blog. We'll be filling up that platform with content over time. Which leads me to the next episode, creating killer content for your blog. In the next episode, I'll walk you through on how to research for content to write, the different types of content, and some basic on-site search engine optimization. So whenever you're ready, I'll see you in the next episode.